Hello everyone and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. As you guys know, it greatly helps the channel. Should I say fellow companions or fellow garbage? Because I've discovered yesterday evening that apparently if you are supporting a certain person in this election, you are automatically garbage. Obviously the media is trying to completely downplay this after overplaying a comedian joke in a rally. Now they're downplaying the words of the sitting president. Now, if you wouldn't watch this, uh, happening so shortly apart from each other, you would say that I was probably lying. But just the difference in coverage is just is just amazing. But in any case, let's go to more positive things. I was watching Crypto 7 stream today with Tangent, and I like to see Crypto 7 talking about Ethereum. But before that, look, there's not much going on. Bonds keep on stabilizing and going a little bit up. As you guys know, it's good. GDP in Europe came more or less, I guess. I mean, a little bit better than estimates, but a few countries like Spain did very well. A few countries like Germany not so great. And then, of course, we had government data in the US, both GDP and jobs. Surprise, surprise, way above expectations. Why do I get a feeling that after the election, all these numbers will be incredibly heavily revised down? Why do I have that feeling? Call me a Nostradamus. We'll see if that happens or not. Now, tomorrow is the last day of the month, so October is poising to be a positive month for crypto. Bitcoin is steadily above around 72K. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. There's going to be a time where, and in not so distant future, where people will be pissed because Bitcoin is only 72K. So last week, everyone was super excited to go above 70. But in a few weeks, I get the feeling that if we go to 72, everybody's going to lose their mind. Now, I was listening to Crypto 7 talking about Ethereum, and it's pretty much what I've been saying here for months, and I have to say, probably I was the only one. You see, in my view, Ethereum is going to do something that it has done in previous cycles, which is gap up 40-50% within 20-25 days and basically leave everybody behind. You see, the reason why I say it, let's make it a bit more concrete, is because I said it here yesterday that there was resistance around 2,720. Why? Because that's the 20-day EMA. The 20-day EMA. I said that there's resistance at 2,720, at around 2,800, and around 2,925, 2,950. But above 3,000, there's pretty much almost no resistance whatsoever. So that plays into what I'm thinking, that I think if we cross decisively above $3,000, you can see a very quick move to 4,000 because there's nothing in between. There's no heavy resistance. There's no moving averages. There's nothing. There's a big convergence in the 2720 handle at the 2,815 or so and 2,945, but there's nothing above it. So I think, in my view, maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe Ethereum just becomes the XRP this cycle. That's possible. I mean, anything is possible. But I think Ethereum, I've been saying this for months, will gap up quite aggressively. And now here is the key. Once that happens, the ETF players come afterwards. You see, we get the feeling that these guys are super sophisticated and they're super great and so on. Go check what volumes Bitcoin ETFs had when we had the Japanese debacle. Almost nothing. In some cases, net selling. So when they could have been buying a few months ago, 2 months ago actually, when they could have been buying Bitcoin at 48, 50, 51, 52, when I came to this channel, I made the prediction that Bitcoin was going to be above 80K before the end of November, and I reiterated that prediction on the day of the Japanese debacle, which was when everybody was contemplating Bitcoin 30K and all of the other. You remember the carry trade, the Japanese carry trade was only half done. There was 50% left to be done, and that would push Bitcoin into 38, 36, and then people would panic and go to 32K, blah, blah, blah. And I came here and I said, no, that is the bottom on the day. I don't care anything about it. And by the way, Bitcoin will be above 80K in November. You see, the key is to say it when it's very unpopular to say it. Now that Bitcoin is at 72, people are now throwing up Bitcoin 100K, 150K too. Now everybody has bullish propositions. But the key is to understand, and I even came here in the channel and I said, you guys remember that we've been talking about bottom signals? This is what a bottom looks like, very, very clearly. One of the few channels doing it. And Ethereum is going to be the same thing. I think Ethereum will start really playing catch up probably around mid-December, between late, I would say first week, second week of December onwards, Ethereum is going to play catch up, in my opinion. And it's going to catch all of these people off guard. Now, some of them are already understanding what's coming, like the guy from Crypto Banter, because that guy who's been trashing Ethereum nonstop is already talking about returning to Ethereum and buying Ethereum, just like I said he would. It's so predictable. It's always the same story. And one thing that people need to understand is, in a bull market, not every coin moves at the same time, even if they look alike. What do I mean by that? So, for example, Pepe and Andy, which are the boys club, are not moving that much. But Boppy and Hoppy are starting to move. I mean, Hoppy is almost at a new all-time high again because those are the night riders. So they are the sub-segment, if you will, of the Matt Fury or Rivety theory narrative. But does that mean that I should be super concerned about Andy? No. It means it moves at different times. Not all the crypto move at the same time. What have I been saying for months on Pulse Chain and the likes? I've been saying the real moves on Pulse Chain, PulseX and the likes, in my opinion, will happen towards the close or to the end, closer to the end of the bull market. And the reason for it is because they are cycle 2 narratives. Cycle 2 narratives rarely give you 300 or 500x anymore, but they will give you a solid 50, 75, 100x. But they always come up closer to the end of the bull market. And there's going to be a time, indeed, that everything goes up massively, and it seems that there's no end in sight, and then everybody is super excited, and you have people going ballistic and the likes. Now, the reason why I prefer Ethereum to Solana, I'll just give you this example today. I had a guy who's been making fun of me being in crypto at work since 2022. Particularly, he really made fun of me the day FTX went bankrupt. Like, not making fun, like, ha, 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 like laughing in my face, but kind of, throwing some jabs, right? He today comes to me and he tells me that he started to buy Bitcoin, to buy crypto in general. I said, so which ones you bought? Oh, I bought Bitcoin and Solana. I said, why did you buy Solana? He said, oh, because, I was a little bit on YouTube and basically every channel that I could find was Solana. So I decided to buy it. And I say, haven't you ever heard about Ethereum? He said, oh, I did hear about Ethereum, but what I've seen is Ethereum is super negative or it's just simply not covered anymore. So I thought that Ethereum, just kind of died, right? And that's when I knew, in my opinion, that gave me a lot of conviction that Ethereum, for the remaining of the cycle, will do better than Solana. Is because I'm starting to get random people that know nothing about crypto, that used to hate and laugh at crypto, buying Solana because that's the only thing they see in famous channels. That is, to me, once again, as I've mentioned before, you see all these channels that talk about Solana nonstop. When Ethereum makes this move, all of them will pretend they never talk about Solana. They just completely shift to Ethereum, the coin they've been trashing for months, and then they will say, oh, on day X, I said very positive things about Ethereum. So what they do is they do 20 videos negative about Ethereum. And then they do one video where they have like a positive comment. And they take that one and say, look, guys, I was talking very positively about Ethereum. Look. I say, I knew this was coming. And they just pretend the other 20 videos didn't exist. So this is a little trick they do on YouTube many times, which is their position has been Solana, Ethereum is garbage. As soon as that dynamic changes, but they always, what I mean is Solana, and then Ethereum is garbage, right? And then they always say one or two sentences positive about Ethereum. Now, those sentences are there to be clipped when Ethereum does well. So then they go back and they take that and say, see, I've always been talking about Ethereum. I told you guys, I told you in August 2024, Ethereum was the way, you guys didn't listen, blah, blah, blah. And the idea is, if Ethereum is doing very well, it's getting a lot of searches on YouTube. So then new people come and they end up in their channel and they say, oh, this guy was talking very well about Ethereum in August. If I had followed him, I would have made so much money. But they don't know that all the videos that guy was making, or those guys were making, were pure negative about Ethereum. So I still think it's going to surprise a lot of people, just like Pulsechain. And Pulsechain has done well recently. Tomorrow is the SEC case with Richard Hart. Let's see how that develops. But I've seen something, and Crypto7 talked about it and very, very well, which is we had a good rally, 4x or something, and then there was a sell-off of about 25%, and people were losing their mind, selling the bottom, going on Twitter saying they are done with the ecosystem, blah, blah, blah. I've said this so many times in this channel, but I will just say once more. In bull markets, you have a lot of pump, but you also have dumps. And believe me, you have dumps way worse than 25%. In fact, we just went with Andy, as I've said before, we went from 320 million to 48 million. That is a 85% drop. Now, those things are normal in the bull market. If you're already sweating with a 25% drop, if you're already throwing in the towel and throwing a tantrum with a 25% drop, then you're not going to make it. Unless you are extremely lucky, just pick a coin that goes up, 100-fold in 3 weeks, and maybe maybe you make it. But if you're not prepared to see minus 50, minus 60, minus 75% in your coins from time to time, you are in for a very difficult period. There's no way around it. Now, I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm not trying to advise. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just stating something very clear. See, because the issue is people look at the charts, right? And they see this parabola going up. They see this little part over here going like this. And they don't know that this part that goes like this sometimes has a plus minus 50% in there. But because the pump is so massive during the euphoria phase, it kind of confuses everything in the chart. So people don't understand. That means they think bull market green candles every single day, or at least every single week. And if that doesn't happen, then maybe they picked the wrong coin, maybe they were duped, maybe they were scammed. God knows what they think. They sell, and then they start to go chase something else. Now, the reason why I was saying not everything pumps at the same time. Usually what people do is they have coins they have several coins. Some of them are not pumping. So what they invariably do is to sell them and go into the coins that have been pumping recently. Most of the time, they pick the tops or the local tops. And then the coins that they just sold start pumping. And now they need to sell that one to go back to the pump. And then back and forth, they get slashed and diced. And they would be so much better just sitting on their hands. But sitting on their hands is most of the time the best thing to do in crypto, but simultaneously the hardest thing to do in crypto as well. And with that, thank you very much for your support, guys. We'll greatly appreciate your time here. By the way, I do encourage you to watch Crypto7 stream. I think it was quite interesting. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.